Hello and good morning, my fellow trucketeers. Here we are for another debrief. This time in my front room because I can't be asked out of the man cave because it's a horrible wet day again. I was hoping to fit my coilovers today, but that's not going to happen now. I need somewhere dry to do it. Anyway, weekly debrief. Monday the 8th of September to Friday the 12th. Let's get into it. Alright, so you can see my lovely front room with the furniture I made, with this and that, and I still got to do some shelves around there, but we'll get into that at some point. But we're sat in our lovely wingback chair, and we're going to go through what we've done this week. So, Monday the 8th of September, we started at 6 a.m. We ran from the yard to go across to go collect trailer 23, which is the flat that I dropped off on Friday, loaded up with blocks. We took that to MKM Building Supplies in Weymouth to get that unloaded. Once it was empty, run back to Goldcross Industrial Estate to load up at Hucknets for, I think it was like a pole and a couple of fixings, so not a lot. Once that was loaded, we took that to a caravan park in Breen, which is near Burnham-on-Sea. We unloaded that, and then from there, run to Glastonbury to load up a full load of compost. Once we got that on, we ran as far east as we could to Camberley. Parked up at 5:45 p.m, worked 11 hours 45 minutes, and we drove 7 hours 10 minutes, and we done 254 miles. I stopped a bit early that day. I could have carried on with the customer. I didn't realise that the customer stays on site or has a house next to it. I could have rung him and he would have let me in, and I could have stayed there for the night, which meant I could have got a bit more further up the road and unload at 7 o'clock in the morning. But we got there for 7 anyway. So 5 a.m. start, run from Camberley to Bethersden, which is near Ashford, or just south of Ashford in Kent, to deliver compost. Once that was off, we then run to Sheerness Docks to load timber. Once that was on, run southwest, parked up on the A30 near Temple, about half hour from the customer, finished at 5:30 p.m. Worked 12 and a half hours, drove 8 hours 53 minutes, and we done 406 miles. So yeah, we didn't do much this week. We ended up parking up early quite a lot, but it is what it is. So on Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. start, run from the A30 Temple to St Austell to deliver timber to Bradford's. Once we was empty, we was there for a couple of hours. Once we was empty, because there was another truck in there and they were loading up their own trucks and whatever. Once we was empty, run to R&R's yard in Redroof, dropped our flat trailer, and I picked up an R&R curtain cider, which is one of their rattler trailers, which is the Cornish cider. Then from there, run to LWC in Redroof to load for a hub run to Manchester. We run north as far as we can to R&R's little storage yard they have in Bilston, which is it's in Black Country. So, yeah. Finished at 6:30 p.m, worked 12 hours on the button, drove 7 hours 12 minutes, and we've done 315 miles. 5:30 a.m. start, run from Bilston to Manchester to LWC, unloaded and reloaded. When I was there, I spoke to one of the forklift drivers, and he said if I got there, they would let me in and let me stay on their site for the night. So that's another one that I know now that I can go into. So that would have been handy. So I could have got a bit further up the road that night. Reloaded for Redroof. We run south as far as we could, and we parked up in Victoria in Cornwall at 5:30 p.m. So we drove 8 hours and 6 minutes, worked 12 hours on the button, and done 401 miles. The reason I parked up that early is because the customer there doesn't unload after 12 o'clock or midday. So Friday, 7:15 a.m, run from Victoria down to Redroof to unload at LWC. Once the booze was all off, run to R&R's yard, dropped their curtain cider, collected the flatbed that I dropped off there, run to Main Carns in Newquay. I say Newquay, it's kind of like, yeah, it's sort of Newquay, you know where it is. Yeah, got there, loaded blocks. They went all the way back to the yard, so went into Goldcross, dropped the trailer. Dom and Ollie were there, transshipping some potatoes from one trailer to another, so I stayed there and gave them a hand. Yeah, once that was done, the three of us drove back to the yard. Paperwork, home. that was Friday done. Finished at 5:45 p.m. So we worked 10.5 hours, drove 5 hours and 16 minutes, and we done 174 miles. That was my Friday, which was very nice. So our weekly totals are not massive. We put in 1,009.11 litres of fuel. Mainly because, well, I didn't actually need to fill up yesterday, but I did. I had half a tank. Well, I would have had half a tank when I got back to the yard, but I thought I'll just chuck a bit of extra fuel in. That way Monday I ain't got to muck around filling up. So yeah, we done 1,550 miles, and we worked a total of 58 hours and 45 minutes, which for me, quite a quiet week. Normally, I like to try and get at least 60 hours, and I didn't quite crack that this week, but, you know, here's what it is. Never mind. We'll make up for it next week, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, that was it. That's all we did. Not a lot, really. So, pretty much 2.5 days of that was doing that alcohol run, which was nice and straightforward. So, yeah, we'll take that. Let's get on to viewers' questions, shall we? So, if you want to get a shout out on this channel, your way to do it is to ask me a question in the comments below on this video, and then I'll answer them for you for next week. So, if you've got anything to ask me, it doesn't have to be about trucking, and I will answer it next week for you, and then you get a shout out, blah, 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 blah. So, this week we only got 3 questions, sort of, yeah. So, question number 1 is from Mike Dive, and you asked, what do you think about the mirrors on the inside of the cab on some of the new trucks? Some of the new trucks have them. Have I driven a truck with them? When you say mirrors on the inside of the cab, I assume you mean the mirror cams where you have the screen on the inside of the cab, or do you mean the cameras on the inside of the cab that face the driver? Personally, I think the cameras on the inside of the cab are kind of a good thing, but as long as you're guaranteed that they switch off when you turn the engine off. But personally, I wouldn't really want someone watching me all day. Though companies say they don't watch you all day, they'll only look at the footage when it's required. You don't know, do you? As for mirror cams, if that's what you're on about, no, I've not driven one with them. I've sat in a couple and looked through them, and they look okay, but there's ups and downs to both normal mirrors and sort of mirror cams. As far as I'm concerned, why reinvent the wheel? Keep it as it was. So yeah, I can't really answer that because I've not driven a truck with them. They have benefits, but overall, normal mirrors work fine. Right, question number 2 from Scouser in a Wheelchair. Great name, by the way. Obviously, there's a story behind that. The DAF doesn't seem to pull that well. What's the best pull-in truck you have driven? The best pull-in truck I've driven is, the R-Series Scanias I drove, the rental ones, they pulled pretty well. One of the MANs I drove used to pull pretty well. Too well. Used to wheel spin a lot. But no, I think my DAF actually pulls really, really well. On the camera, it doesn't. Camera's not very good for showing you speed. It doesn't give you a sense of speed or anything like that, so it's quite difficult to gauge how quickly I'm actually pulling. But when I've been fully weighted, I've overtaken Volvos with similar power uphill, so the DAF actually pulls pretty well, I'd say. As Volvos are probably locked into eco mode or something, that's why they're quite slow up the hill, but yeah, the DAF actually pulls really well, I find. Even my old 460 one, I used to overtake 500 Volvos up a hill when I'm fully weighted, so yeah, it does alright. Can't complain. So yeah, I'd say my DAF's probably one of the best pulling trucks I've driven. And question number 3 from Andy Lathbridge. When you do your vehicle checks from a night out, how do you check the trailer reverse brake lights? Is there a system on your truck that goes through the cycle of the lights so you can check the lights whilst in the cab? Well, obviously when you do your walk around checks, you have to get out and walk around. So you can turn on all your lights regularly and have a walk around. If you're backed up to something, say look, you got another truck behind you or you got a wall behind you or something, you can press your brake pedal or put your reverse lights on when you're in the cab, and you can see the reflection through your mirrors, or when you put your head up the window, so that'll give you an idea. Or on the DAFs, there's a little button you press on the key fob, and that'll cycle all the lights on your truck. So as you walk around, you can check all your lights are working because it'll cycle the lot. So yeah, there is that. That's the 3 questions we had this week. That is it. So again, if you've got something to ask me for next week, leave it in the comments of this video. If you leave it in another video, I might miss it. Right. Next little segment is Car of the Week. Didn't see too many things. I did see a nice old Alpha thing I saw. Don't know what the hell it was, so I'm not even going to attempt to look for that. Kind of caught it at the corner of my eye, so I didn't really see the shape of it properly, so trying to search for it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. But then, coming back from Cornwall on Friday, a lovely white R32 Skyline overtook me, so that's my car of the week. I don't know whether it was a GTR or a GTST. It was going at a rate of knots, but there you go. No, it sounded lovely. Do like an R32 Skyline. It's probably my favourite shape, to be fair. I didn't see if it had the extended wheel arches, so I couldn't tell you whether it was a GTR or not. So, yeah. But yeah, R32 Skyline in white. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Mayhem on the road. Nothing really. There was some guy that was like weaving in and out of traffic a little bit near Manchester. There is one thing I want to bring up actually. It seems to be a bit of a phenomenon I see on the roads. Is when there's a slow moving vehicle on a dual carriageway, well, mainly a dual carriageway, say a tractor that's doing tops probably about 30 mile an hour, unless it's a fast track or Fent doing probably 37, 40 mile an hour. When people go to overtake it, they'll either wait to the last minute and get right up behind it and slow right down, then decide to pull out and overtake it, which then slows everyone else down. Or when people go to overtake it, for some reason they slow down. I don't get it. You can still do 70 mile an hour when you're passing that tractor. When you see it, as soon as I see a tractor, I'll move straight out as soon as I can, as long as it's clear to do so. And I'll just sit there until I've passed it, because I will catch it up pretty quick, even at 56. So it's quite funny when you see a tractor coming up, and then all of a sudden you've just got a row of cars that are doing 40, 50 mile an hour, like slowed right down to pass a tractor. Why are you slowing down to pass a slow moving vehicle? Just keep up the speed. As soon as you see it, move out when it's safe to do so. Just gun straight past it and pull back in. There's no need to slow down, but it seems to happen all the time. Slow moving vehicle, everyone slows down to overtake it. It happens all the time. I'll have to try and catch it on video for you. It's really bizarre. I don't understand people. I think people literally look to the end of their bonnet and that's it. Drive like this and the goo does, you know. Right, last little bit of the video is comment of the week, or my favourite comment of the week, we'll say. It's from Joe Blair. And you actually commented on my canal boat video, which was nearly 4 years old now. I'll leave a little thingy to it up there if I can. So you said, thanks for the canal boat journey and the working of the locks. Not many others about and so peaceful. Would love to try it sometime. Yes, it is a lovely little holiday to have. I recommend doing a canal boat holiday. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. It will cost a fair few £1,000s to do. But it is a very enjoyable holiday. You will work hard doing the locks. Well, it depends what canal you go on. There's a lot of locks on the Kennet and Avon from the Visors to Newbury. Especially the Cane Hill locks. There's a lot of locks to do, a lot of walking. You'll be stood up a lot driving. It depends how far you go, but we enjoy it. It's something we like to do. And we've actually booked another canal boat holiday for next year. So next year we are going on another canal boat holiday. We have 2 boats this time, because there's 13 of us going with all the grandbabies and stuff. So yeah, there will be a video on it next year at some point. We are going in June, so it should be end of June. 20th of June for 2 weeks we're going from Devizes to Newbury again. So nice little canal that. So we're all paid off already, so we're going to be going on that. Can't wait. Cannot wait. But I will be filming it and I will be documenting it. I might put it in like 2 or 3 videos for you. Try and film a little bit more this time. I was a little bit busy last time with Elaine not being well, but we got there in the end. So yeah, I highly recommend the canal boat holiday, but they are a bit pricey. That's it. That's our week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Monday's video is me doing stuff in a truck. That's what the videos generally are. Please check it out. It's a great one. Can't remember what it is, but it's great. So yeah, take it easy. Look after yourselves, drive safely, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbyes!